Back in the EA lounge here at Gamescom, and we've cornered Andrew from Esports. Just going to tell us a little bit about what I think is a very interesting initiative that you're doing, the season ticket, and the way you're trying to build persistence in between your products. Yeah. So how did you sort of come up with the concepts and what you aim to achieve?
Well, I think there's two pieces to that puzzle. One is the persistence between the products and between the platforms. And so what gamers have told us is that they play games on more than one platform. They're PS3 gamers or they're Xbox 360 gamers, but they also play on their smartphones, they play social games on Facebook, they play on the web, on PC. And what they started to say to us is, listen, we're FIFA gamers or we're Madden gamers or we're NHL gamers, and when we do these things on these other platforms, we want it all to matter. We don't want that time to feel like it's wasted. And so what we've started to do is start to intermingle those things. So whether I play on console, whether I play on PC, or whether I play on smartphone, all of that adds value to who I am in that world. And that's kind of the very underlying sentiment that we're going to push through all of our experiences moving forward. And again, because you can't be in front of your console all the time, you can't be in front of your PC all the time, but you do always have your mobile with you. So there's this new way that people are playing games, a new way people are interacting with their games. So that's the first part, and that's going to start to feed through every EA Sports experience we make. Then for Season Ticket, it's really a program that we've put together for our core gamers. So for our core gamers who, play a lot of our games, they play every year, they line up to buy the games, we've said to them, because you support us, we're going to give you the opportunity to be part of a program that lets you play 3 days early. And for those people that, play a lot of Ultimate Team, whether it's in FIFA or Madden or hockey, or download a lot of downloadable content in Tiger, as part of this program, you get a lot of discounts for that. So for that core consumer that plays a lot of our games, wants to play day one or earlier, in this case, has a lot of downloadable content, EA Sports Season Ticket starts to tie all that together for you and offer you a value program that gives you a new way to play, that allows you to play early, play more, and play better.
So speaking of the Season Ticket, you're only bringing it to Xbox 360 in Europe and not PlayStation 3. What's the reason behind that?
We look to work very closely with all of our platform partners. We have tremendous relationships with Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, as well as, Facebook is a new platform and iOS. And what we see is, sometimes the timing just works out slightly differently between one and the other. But our intent is always to build the best experience on all the platforms that we partner with and all of those companies that we partner with. And I fully expect that, we will be on all platforms. It's just a timing thing.
So we could expect that in the future then?
I hope so.
Yeah. You announced FIFA Street here at Gamescom, and you talked a little bit about how that will tie into the FIFA experience and things like that. And I sort of thought that, well, maybe they moved away from the street mentality, the street franchise. What did you make you decide that you wanted to go back to that and reinvigorate that franchise?
I think what we do is we look at what happens in the real world of football. We look at what happens amongst, football gamers in the real world, and we look at what they play and how they want to play. And what we recognize is that, FIFA Street in the past was a very arcade title. It was a lot of fun, but it was quite a shallow experience. And what we recognize now is that street football is once again, becoming a much bigger part of the football fans' lifestyle. But they don't want an arcade title, they want something that's authentic to that street football experience. And so it was an opportunity for us to use the best technology from FIFA, use some of our best creative, leaders from within that franchise to deliver what we believe is a truly authentic and very, very different FIFA Street experience, and something that truly does add to that overall FIFA world versus something that was just a throwaway experience before.
Because something that I feel is for FIFA fans, FIFA's always been such a huge product with so much content that it's been hard for the Street franchise to sort of rival that. And you play it a little bit, but then you don't feel that there's the same kind of amount of content, the same kind of depth to it. And you sort of think, well, I pay the same amount of money for this as I do for a new FIFA. Maybe I'll skip it and just move on to the next FIFA.
Yeah, I think that's a valid point. FIFA is a very big and rich, game, feature-rich, content-rich, live service-rich. And, we've approached FIFA Street this time in a very similar way. So it's built on the same base technology. We've looked to make it both content and feature-rich. We've also looked to deliver it as a service, as we do with FIFA. But more importantly, as we talked about before, as a FIFA gamer, if you play FIFA Street as well, then you add to your progression in that world. So no longer is it a throwaway, now it actually adds up to be a much bigger experience together with FIFA than it ever did before.
So something that's not part of Season Ticket this year and that we're sort of wondering about is NBA. So could you give us a status report on what's going on with NBA and Esports?
Yeah, so we've got NBA being built down at Tiburon in Florida, where we build Madden and NCAA football and Tiger Woods golf. We've got a tremendous, core team there building that game. With the studio is right across the road from where the Orlando Magic train. So, there's a lot of basketball culture in and around that town. And, I had the great fortune of seeing the game last week. The team's making tremendous progress. They're focused on gameplay. And, when that game's ready, when we truly believe that we can deliver a revolution in how you play NBA basketball games, then we'll be back on the market for sure.
Because I think that from my perspective, it was just a shocker that there's not an NBA title from EA Sports one year. And then, we don't know if it's coming, when it's coming out. And it's like we're a little bit in disbelief, I guess.
Yeah, and I think there was probably a time where, we would have shipped it. But I think EA, today is about quality products. It's about delivering quality experiences to gamers. And right now we don't believe we've got the right products to deliver. So we've gone back to the drawing board. We're starting from square one. We're building a great game. And when that game's ready, we'll launch it. So while it's a little odd for, EA Sports not to launch an NBA game last year, what it does, demonstrate is our commitment to gamers and our commitment to build quality products and to deliver quality products. And while it was hard for us not to launch that title, I believe, we have a responsibility to gamers not to ship things that aren't great.
Last year you did have NBA Jam, of course, sort of filling the void there in the basketball fans. But you don't really have anything poised in the same position this year.
Well, we've got the NBA Jam, the On Fire edition. It's going to be live on Xbox Live Arcade and PlayStation Network. It's a new digital version of NBA Jam. It's got new content, it's got new modes, it's got new ways to play. So while it's a digital only offering, we think it's going to be a great offering. It's offered at a new price point that's that makes it a very interesting experience. And I think that that's going to satiate a lot of people's desire for NBA a little bit later on in the year.
So you are embracing the new means of controlling and the new hardware. Could you talk us a little bit through what sort of Kinect means for EA Sports experiences and how you look on Wii U?
So Kinect is very interesting, and I think what we've seen is that Kinect uptake has been great, and there's a lot more gamers playing with Kinect. And so for us at EA Sports, we always want to build for the platforms that gamers have. And we were a little slower to connect, largely because we wanted to see where the sports gamers really took it up. Clearly they have, and so we're starting to think about how that piece of hardware is going to integrate into our games. And I think that there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle of Kinect. There's motion control, of course, and I think for a product like Tiger, that makes complete sense to have motion. But there's also voice, and so when you think about play calling in Madden or even management shifts in FIFA, the voice part might actually be a more integral part of the game. And so we're still in pre-production on a lot of our titles, but as the team starts to work through this, the idea is not to try and build the mode around Kinect, but more importantly, how do we use Kinect to enhance the game that we have so that we still focus on that core Twitch experience, but use whether it's motion or voice or other elements of Kinect to deliver something that's new and innovative to the experience.
I guess in NHL you could call shifting your lines and stuff like that as well.
Absolutely. So, I think there's lots of different ways that we can do it. And the same goes for Wii U as we start to look at that platform. And again, we're very excited about what that represents for us. Anytime there's a new control scheme, that provides both challenge and opportunity for us to deliver something new. And I think, we already see some, initial ways that we could use it with team management, all that kind of stuff. But as the teams get through pre-production, I think we're going to see some far more innovative ideas that come around how we use that new control scheme.